Hello, in this video let us see how to get started with Azure Event Hubs and also some basic topics about Event Hubs. So as you can see from the Microsoft documentation, Azure Event Hubs is a cloud native data streaming service. It can stream millions of data per second from any source to destination. And then in the next line you can see it is compatible with Apache Kafka. As some of you might already be aware about Kafka. It's also one of the streaming service, and if you have already worked with Kafka, in Kafka the cluster is namespace in Event Hub and the topic is an Event Hub, partition, rest all, it is called the same. So with this I had already created an Event Hub. So let me show you the overview of it, and then I will create and show you, and also I will generate some streams and I will show you how it is getting stored. So as you can see here, I had already created a Event Hub namespace with a name called TP Event Hub 1. And one thing to be noted here is while creating it, you need to select the tier. So there are many differences between the tiers on what it supports. So I have gone for standard. You have basic. So one thing I noticed between basic and standard is you can have only one consumer group with basic and multiple with standard tier. Okay, and then under the event hub namespace you can click on the under the entities, you can click on the event hubs and create an event hub. So I have created one called topic 1, and we also have a schema registry to define the type or structure of data that that is going to be exchanged between the producer and consumer applications. And now going into the event hubs that I have already created. So previously we saw the overview about namespace and event hubs. So you can also enable or disable the state of it. So I will enable it now, and then as you can see here, you can also define the partition count. As this is for the purpose of demo, I've just kept partition count as 1, and there are various other configuration. The main thing to be noted here is the shared access policy. So when you create the event hub, by default it creates one shared access policy, okay, which is nothing but this is the endpoint or the connection. It will give you the connection string. So as you can see here you have the connection string or primary key. So you need to copy this and you need to invoke this endpoint in the consumer application or on whichever application on which you want to read the data coming from this event or through this event hub. Okay, so current by default it creates one. As you can see here, you can also create multiple shared access key with the send permission or manage or listen only policy, and then you can configure it accordingly. So with this we also have under event hubs you have under the entities you have consumer groups. So with this you can define the channel to read uh, the producer the data from the producers. Okay, and then we also have a capture. So this is an feature within event hubs to capture the data. Either you can enable this and capture the data in the ADLS, data lake storage, or you can like I said, you can call this endpoint and you can read the data from this. event hub. Okay, these are the things. Now I will try to create one. Like I was showing the previously created the settings or configuration from the previously created one. So first thing is, if you, as soon as you click on event hubs, okay, so first thing you need to create a namespace. So you have to select the resource group, give some name, region, pricing tier. Like I said, we have premium, standard and basic, and with some pricing differences. And one difference, you can read the documentation for the differences. But one thing I noticed was basic supports only one consumer group and standard supports multiple, and you can define the throughputs and other things, etc. Okay, so these are the just the networking and other things, how, like whether you can connect from public or through some private network. So these and tags, and then these are the usual settings. So then what we have is, what I will do is, from the already created one, I will also show you how to create a, after creating the namespace, how to create the event hub. So when you click on the event hub, so again it will ask for the name and then partition count, and like I said, the capture. Okay, so what you can do is, you can either uh, keep it as off, and then you can enable it later also. Like I said, capture is to capture the data into ADLS. Okay, so these are the settings that you may have to deal with while creating an event hub. Previously I showed for namespace, and this is for event hub. So now what I am going to do is, I'm going to uh, go into this event hub. I have already enabled the status of this now, and I also have some consumer groups. Okay, so creating consumer group is straight, like you just need to give the name. Okay, and then what I will enable, like I said, either you can enable this capture while creating the event hub, or at the later on also you can enable. Okay, now so we can capture the data in three formats. One is as a delta lake table, or a parquet file, or a avro file. Parquet and other things require some more additional configurations. So I will select avro, I will switch on this, and I want the data to be shared every 2 minutes, and here I will give 10 MB, and then so I'm going to capture this in storage account. I already have a container, storage account container. I'm going to, and then inside that container which we selected above, it will create the captured data in this folder format, in this nested folder format. Okay, like top event hub namespace, this is the namespace, this is the event hub name, and then in the year, month and day format. If you face any access issue while setting up this, what you need to do is, you need to go to the storage or container, and then go to the access control, and then add a role assignment. Okay, and then you can add the user, like you can give that user storage blob data owner. So you can do like this. So you can click on the role assignment, and then search for storage, select the data owner, and then if I just press this next, so as you can see here, it has selected that role, and then you can add the, select the member. Okay, likewise you can do this. Now what I will do is, I will save this. So I hope so far we are clear. So first thing, we have to create the event hub namespace, event hub, and then we can configure the consumer groups, and then we can turn on the capture to capture it. So this is optional. If, like I said, if you want to capture the stream data by from different application, you can you can switch off this, or you can enable this and have, so as, okay, let's read it from here itself. So capture enables you to automatically deliver the stream data in event hub to blob storage or ADLS. Okay, so this is one option provided by default. Okay, now we have everything. We have turned on uh, the capture. We already have a consumer group, and we have the event hub in active status. So now we have everything now. We have created everything now. Now previously, if we have to test this, so we have the receive, like the target or destination for this by turning on the capture. So how do we provide the input? So previously, to test the event hub, we may have to create a C# or .NET application and then send across the data. But now we have the generate data feature. So here what we can do is we can select the custom payload and we can edit the JSON. This will be sent across, or we also have some sample data set. Okay, so let's select this, and then you have few options. So if I click on send, so let's now check in the storage account. So we will go to the storage account container. So for today's date, so as you can see here, it has streamed the data. And let us see one more test wherein I'm going to send a stocks data. So if I send this, okay, I think we are receiving the data. As you can see here, even we can see from the graphs here, like in the real time, this will show us the spike whenever we have streams of data, like the request messages and throughput. So yeah, I hope this video is useful to get started with event hubs. Please like this video if it was helpful, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.